Check out the video description for details. It's Monday, August 7th. We've got a great show for you. Today we're going to talk about AMC theaters, the bump that you could get off of that. Applied Optical is down 30%. We're going to look at that. Micron, Take-Two, and Square Enix. We're going to look at all of those today and do a quick portfolio update. So let's go ahead and jump right in with the portfolio update. Just a little bit of housekeeping. The show tracks a portfolio of stocks that I buy for my kids' college fund. So if you want to know exactly what I'm buying, links are in the description, right to their page and to the Investor XP page, which tracks all of this. So, but periodically pull up on the show what the performance is, and right now we're sitting right at about 5.3%. So not the greatest performance that we have. We want to get that north of 7%. Doing okay. Could be doing a lot better. Behind me on the screen, I'm going to put up, that's our portfolio. Our portfolio of what we own also is what's on the ticker below, so you can see what's going on with it there. So moving on, we did a story about AMC theaters after it had a big drop off and talking about potential buying opportunity. If you are one of the people that likes to trade stocks, this would have been a perfect opportunity when they had their big panic sell-off. It actually bounced up about 5 or 6%. Let's pull up what it's doing today. It's back down almost 1%. But after the initial sell-off, it did have a nice little bump. And we've talked about this in the past. Let me put up the... probably easier to see with the 5-day chart. You can see the huge drop off that it had here when it announced its earnings, and still slid back down a little bit. But Friday it had bounced up about 5 or 6%. So when you see these big panic drops, usually that's an area where you can make a trade and get 5% or more. And speaking of that, keeping with that theme, we've talked about applied optoelectronics before on the show. We've done a video on it. It was actually a viewer pick that we liked a lot when we looked at the stock for a viewer pick. And that got clobbered the other day. It was down 30%. And it is actually, let me put up our viewer pick here. Check it out full screen. It's actually... since that, it's down 21% from our viewer pick. Most of our viewer picks do extremely well. This one was actually doing very well in itself. It was up over 10%. But as you can see, Gilead 13%, AMD 34%, Tencent 30%. A lot of good viewer picks. So went wrong with applied optoelectronics. Let's pull it up and I'll show you. It's bounced back 10% today. So after the huge drop on Friday, it's had a nice bounce. So hopefully some people got in on that trade when they saw the panic sell-off. But go over to the website. I'll put a link in there. They basically make the guts for your switches and your fiber optic stuff. So if you want the internal components, you look at some of these companies and they're a great play. Now, one of the things that we talked about with this one, though, was it had, I think this was the 600% run up. Let me go to the statistics here. 300. I mean, it's still up 300% over the year. So highlight that there so you guys can see it. It's still up 300%. It dropped 30% off of fears. This is what happens when you have a company that's run up that much and then they adjust their guidance and people think that they're losing customers with Amazon and stuff like that. So you have a big panic sell-off and you see it bounce right back up 10% here. Financially, they were in okay shape. They had some good free cash flow. They're not a huge company by any means. They don't have a lot of debt. They got more cash than debt so that they can survive. They'll get other companies. They've done quite well with the run up of 300 and some percent. Some of the people in the panic selling just wanted to take some profit and get out of there. So my feelings haven't changed much on them. You see a dip here. If you really like the stock, it's an opportunity to buy in on the dip. Now, not my cup of tea. because of the dividend. This is where if the stock had paid a dividend and had a big sell off like that, it's easier to swallow because it pays you money. But this one doesn't, so I didn't invest in it. It was a great viewer pick. Bump in the road. If you still like them and you still like their prospect, another buying opportunity. When it crashed down 30% and it bounced 10%, so you could have made a good trade, or another opportunity to buy in more of it. A lot of people like the stock. Still good. I still think good things with the company. Um, they'll figure out more customers and stuff. Probably have a buying opportunity for a couple of quarters. If they were to revise their or revise their guidance next quarter to the positive side, you'd see it run up again. So no, I wouldn't be worried about it. Some people are asking me if it would be something to worry about. No, you never like to see that drop, but if you're investing long term, those are good buying opportunities. And if you're someone who's looking for a trade, you could have just picked up 10% real quick. Another stock people have asked me about is Micron, and I thought I had done this one before, and I cannot find it. A lot of things to like about it. We go with Qualcomm with ours. This is a different type of chip manufacturing. Let me pull it up here. Um, they are in good position because of their flash and solid state memory and stuff like that they have, which you're going to get higher prices for this because there's a shortage with that. So that's where Micron, they're in very good shape for what they're doing. Pull up their statistics here. The only thing with them was financials weren't the greatest for me, and obviously uh, the dividend, but they've run up 90% over the last year, so they've had a heck of a run up already. Uh, they're above their moving averages, so they still have, or they're I'm sorry, they're right at their moving averages. They're at 28. That's where people are saying they hit and break above theirs, you're going to see it run. So they're above their 200 day, and they're approaching the 50 day. People are thinking if it gets up to 30, that it'll run more. So anything under 30 is a buy on this, and it's that way for another reason. I'll show you in just a second. So opportunity for it to break out and run is what people see there. But financials, not the greatest, but certainly not terrible. 4 billion in cash, 11 billion in debt. We like to see more cash than debt if we're just for something to check off. Leverage free cash flow, a little bit of negative. Good operating cash flow, so they could have a more money free to work with here, but not in dire situation by any means. So, and if they're using that debt wisely to grow the company and everything, but I like the product that they have certainly, and what they're doing. Another thing though, if you check, I like to go to tip ranks once in a while to see it'll kind of pull together what all the analysts are saying, and the majority of them have this as a buy. And if you look at their price points, the lowest price point is $30. So what people are projecting for its low price point is the bottom, and it goes as high as 60. So with those, with that's what the analysts are saying. It's generally a 41% upside. Um, that's where a lot of people are getting this $30 from, between the moving averages on the charts and what the analysts are saying. But if the stock's $28 and a lot of pros are saying the bottom is 30, you can do the math and see where to go there. And if the upside's 60, you got quite a bit to run. I know people are going to be getting higher pricings for the type of things that they manufacture, so things look good for them. Micron, I think it's a good one. Check it out. People were asking. That's my thought. I think it's good. Uh, I don't I don't have anything to disagree or argue against the 20 plus analysts that are saying it's a buy. So normally I wouldn't just fold right in and say go with what they say, but it's hard to argue the point against it. So Looks good to me. Under 30, buy away. Finally, I just wanted to touch a little bit on Take-Two Interactive and Square. They're in the news here. Particularly of interest with Take-Two is talking about the Nintendo Switch. Very optimistic about the Nintendo Switch and the sales that are going with it. So they're looking to support that more. Take-Two had a fantastic earnings report, and they raised their year's guidance. They're up 3% today. Keep in mind, these companies have been running up and they've been performing great, basically without supporting the Nintendo. So you're going to get some additional sales out of the Nintendo Switch, however they support it. So ones that support it with software titles strongly, like Take-Two, I think they're going to see big spikes coming up, and it's already built into their stock. It's been running up, but so we like Take-Two. They're doing well. The other one we like is Square Enix, and they have announced Dragon Builder 2 is going to be coming for the Switch. We've talked about a lot on the show their support for the Nintendo Switch. Dragon Builder 2 looks like a pretty cool title. Whether it comes west or not, I don't know. We'll have to see. Very popular in Japan. Dragon Quest XI sold 2 million in one day, or in the first week or something like that in Japan. Very big titles coming over. Square stock is up a little bit today. You can get the ADR for it. Up 1.6%. We're hoping this one breaks out. We really like Square. Might pick up some more of it this month, or Collector's Universe or something. We'll see, but Square to us is looking good. Like both of these, Square pays a dividend, Take-Two does not. Activision and Nintendo are our favorite, but look into these publicly traded companies, the games you love. You might be able to make a lot of money, to be honest with you. So that's it for today's show. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already to get the latest investing news for gamers. Leave us some comments, some feedback. We're trying to grow the channel. That's it. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.